In this week's video, I want to get to the point and I'm just going to tell you my story, how I was able to get a high-paying job as an international student in Canada. Yes, when you're here and you're an immigrant, you do not have the same opportunities as someone who is a permanent resident, and that's because when you're here as an international student, you can only work 20 hours per week. But when the government changed that and changed it to 40 hours, the day they announced that, I stopped working survival jobs. Before they announced that, I was at the point where I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this no more. I just can't bother. It was like a ticking time bomb for me. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't need to be doing this. So I decided that I was just going to stop, and I stopped. And then soon, shortly after, the government announced that international students will be able to work full-time in Canada. Yes. And I was eligible to work full-time. So immediately, I started applying for jobs. And this is what people always tell you, and you hear it, but it passes over your head. And I'm going to tell you again, listen keenly. Looking a job in Canada is like a job in itself. And I'm going to repeat this one. Looking a job in Canada is like a job in itself. So yes, we were not allowed to work full-time. So I started looking jobs. And that meant that I got up every morning, took my shower, got prepared like I was working from home. But what I was doing working from home is looking jobs, because looking a job in Canada is like a job in itself. At that point, every day, sometimes one time, sometimes two times, sometimes three times per day, every day. Like I literally like per day I probably be applying for 80 jobs. Like if there's a new job posted, I know. And at this point I was looking at professional jobs, so I only applied for work on LinkedIn. I did not use Indeed because Indeed didn't have the type of jobs I was looking. Indeed, jobs in Canada are jobs I like to call labor intensive or survival jobs. If you want the good jobs, it's on LinkedIn, right? And so I got up every day and I applied. I got a lot of rejection letters, but I didn't let that stop me, because that's a part of the process. If you want to get a good job in Canada, you're going to have to learn to get rejection. You're going to learn to accept rejection, but don't see that as failure. Because even when I was applying for jobs, I applied for jobs that I wasn't even qualified for. But you never know, I kept applying. And that was how I was able to get a job. Simply put, no fluff to it. I got up every day, I knew what I wanted, and I kept applying. During that 3 weeks process, I felt a bit like overwhelmed at one point, because I was like, okay, I'm applying so much, but I'm not getting back any good feedback. I was getting interviews, but then I wasn't getting anything. Like I said, I was applying per day, probably like 40 to 100 jobs. As much jobs as I could, I kept applying. Because, like I said, in Canada, applying for a job is like a job in itself. If I had applied for maybe 1,000 jobs, I would say I got like 5 interviews. And for those 5 interviews, I got offers from 3 of the 5. And then I decided the one that I wanted to go with in the end. But my point is, that is just to show you how many jobs you have to apply for until you actually get one good one. You can't apply for 50 jobs or 100 jobs and feel like, oh my god, you've done so much. No. You have to keep on applying, baby. You gotta keep applying. You gotta wake up every day and do it. Coming home at night, and you probably need to update that resume to make it match the other job that you need to apply for. You have to do it. You probably have more than one resumes. Like me, I had more than one resumes depending on the job I was applying for. So that was my process. And I honestly have to tell you, you know, they say you need a Canadian style resume. You do. At the end of the day, that is the first thing that an employer is going to see. But that's not what gets you the job. What gets you the job is, at the end of the day, is how well you sell yourself. Because like I said, I applied for maybe 1,000 jobs, right? But I only got interview for 5, right? Of the 5, I probably got 3 offers, right? I threw my net out there, and yeah, I came back with 3 good offers. And in the end, I decided, because I was applying to jobs at some of these companies where I know I wanted to be. They had many different roles, and I was just applying for every role, senior level, mid level, entry level, because at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to work with companies like this. So you have to know what company you want to work with, and if you're not getting through with your dream company, keep on trying, try other companies too. But in my field, there were a lot of jobs. There were a lot of opportunities. I also limited my search to just British Columbia, because you already know I love BC, and there are a lot of opportunities here for engineers and persons in tech. So that's why I had so many jobs applying for. Honestly though, I didn't branch out of the electrical engineering. I kept with the electrical engineering, and I kept with distribution. I would say to you, if you are here and you are trying to find a job and it is not working out, it's not because there isn't opportunities or that employers are not hiring, but you have to apply for a lot. The more you apply, the more recruiters will see you. Because even for me, when I eventually stopped applying at that point, because now I had offers and I needed to make decisions, right? Recruiters started reaching out to me, and that's because I was applying for jobs. And I also think during that time, November, that 3 weeks, it was not the best season to get a job, as you know, everyone here in Canada is thinking about going on their vacation for Christmas. So that was the thing too. So even now in the new year, you have recruiters reaching out now, because now employers are up and running and ready to start hiring again. So now we're in February, and it's a great season, it's a great time for a new beginning, and now would be good as any to really sit down and start applying for jobs. So if you're here as an international student and you are able to work 40 hours, do not restrict yourself to just doing the bare minimum. Try getting a good job in your field, because especially when you have a job in your field, with that job offer, if you're in British Columbia, you can use that for PNP nomination if it's in tech. So if you're in BC, for example, you can use that job for PNP nomination if it is in tech. Or if you're in Nova Scotia, some of those other provinces, you can also use job offers to get you PNP nomination. So don't restrict yourself. I know you might feel like you are trying and it's nothing, but like I just said, it's not something that you're just going to wake up and it's going to happen. You have to apply like every day, or often every day. It's a full-time job applying for jobs. And the next thing you want to do is to ensure that if you go on LinkedIn, try to go directly to the source. So here's a tip for you. For example, sometimes you might apply with LinkedIn, but then the company has their own website, and on their website they have their career section where you can create a profile. I would advise you create that profile, leave your resume there, keep on updating it when you need to, because recruiters do go through those lists before they actually start looking out on LinkedIn or anywhere else. So don't be afraid to do the work. In Canada and in first world countries, you have to work for it. Nothing falls in your lap, and we all know that, right? So don't give up. Like, some people's stories sound so nice, like, wow, I got a high paying job while being a student, an international student, and you're like, wow, lucky them. It's not luck, it's work. Like, it's not easy to go for interviews and apply for jobs. You have to be ready. Just get up every day and do what you have to do. That's what I did. It's no magic trick. That's what I did. And I'm telling you, if you get up, you start applying on LinkedIn every day, like every day, for that dream role or that role that you want, you will get it. You will get it. You will get it. But you have to put in the work. So that was how I got a job as a distribution engineer here in Canada. Here I am fully doing designs. Like, yeah, fully doing designs. It's new, and I think it really adds to me, like, my career. And this is an opportunity that I really love, and I'm growing. I won't lie, it's challenging. It is hard to manage being a full-time engineer while being a full-time student, and at the same time being full-time here on YouTube doing 2 videos per week. It's a lot. And then I started going to the gym lately, so it's a lot. So know what you can manage. If you believe that you can manage both being a full-time student and having a full-time career, you can do it. If I'm doing it, you can do it. Just know that it takes work, and you have to be prepared and ready to put in the work. Thank you so much for watching my video, and let me know in the comments, have you been looking for jobs? What has it been like? Is it hard, or are you applying for a lot of jobs but you realize you're still not getting the job that you want, or the interviews? Or is it that you get the interviews but then that's it? After you finish those interviews and you don't hear anything else, reach out to the recruiter or to the person you had the interview with and find out what it was why you did not get the position, how you can use that to grow. Let them give you a reason. Follow up. You never know how following up can actually land you another interview for another position. All the best to you. Bye.